Mr. Gorbachev.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Turn up this podcast.
I'm in this for the money and the pussy, and they're both falling off the trees.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 153 of the Reasonable Doubt podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Eric C. Griff.
And J Money.
What's going on, Mountain Man?
Oh my god.
That beard is out of control.
I know. You can't even see it on this side. It's so faint.
It's not faint, it's just blonde.
It's just blonde, yeah. It's like
the same color as your skin, yeah.
It's brutal. Yeah, if you look at
You growing it out on purpose?
No, I'm just cold.
Yeah, I know. I like clean shaved the other day. Clean shaving in the winter fucking sucks for all the ladies listening.
Yeah. It's awful.
Like, especially if you clean shave and then leave your house like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, no fucking way.
The
The skin's
cold.
all fresh.
Yeah.
No.
You feel it in your skull.
Yeah.
Like,
That's-
permeates your jaw.
Yeah, like you asked me about this last night, and it was like, no, I'm not growing it out. It's just been cold. It's been like it was minus 40
It was
last
fucking
week.
cold. Now it's like nice.
It's not too bad, but I was up at Simcoe over the weekend, fishing, and I was
fishing. You catch anything?
no.
No, did anybody catch anything?
No, I went out with a couple noobs.
Yeah, and
And it was just fucking
how long?
perfect day for ice fishing, and we get out there and it just starts blizzarding. It's like,
Were you in like a hut or just sat on the
no,
ice?
just sitting on the ice. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It was
sucks.
fucking brutal.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
So
Why would you ever force yourself to do that?
I know.
There's levels to ice fishing. That's hardcore ice fishing.
Yeah, it is.
And then there's dudes that like build an apartment on the way.
Yeah, they'll have like a heater, out
toilet.
there. Yeah. They have like stuff, you know?
Like paintings on the
Yeah,
walls.
board game in there and shit.
Yeah,
And
like,
it's
what-
what? They'll hang out in there for days, literally. Like I know guys that go out and they'll sit in their hut for like 3 days. They'll do a whole long weekend hanging out in the hut.
That actually sounds pretty sick.
Oh, I've done it a bunch of times. It's one of my
That's just going
favorite things.
That's just
to
going
do.
to a cottage with a hole in the floor.
Yeah,
That's all that is.
It's awesome. You go out, you hang out with your buddies, you drink beer, and
You have like a generator or something?
well, usually you put like one massive propane tank at the back that powers a light,
Okay.
and then your heater.
Yeah.
And then you also have like a little camp stove you can fry shit up on.
Because,
right?
yeah, a generator would be too loud, right? Scare the fish.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Propane's like super quiet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like doing that's a fucking awesome time.
Yeah, that rocks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great.
But what you were doing,
Brutal.
just like a camp chair on the ice?
Yeah. Yeah, like a foldy chair.
Just sitting there fucking miserable, and you didn't even catch a fish?
And didn't catch anything and freeze my fucking
How long were you
balls
out there?
off. Like 2-3 hours, and I was like, that's enough.
Fuck this.
Yeah. I was like, well,
were
anyway.
you the first one that was like, all right, let's pack it in? Yeah.
No, I was sitting there. I wanted to give them a chance, and then they were like, well, like it's you guys. This is for you guys because we're not hitting anything. So if you want to go in,
Yeah, and they were
just
like,
tell
yep.
me. And they were like, yep.
Were you drinking at least?
No, because it was too cold.
Oh, no.
I brought a beer and it froze within like 40 minutes. So it's like, well, what's the point? Yeah.
Conversations get a little dry after 2 hours in a blizzard and no booze.
Yeah.
Just sat there,
Just
like,
sitting there with
not
snow,
catching fish.
just snow pelting one side of me. Just my back is covered in snow.
At least most of the time when you're outside, you're moving around or doing something.
Ice fishing, you are
ice fishing,
stagnant.
you're sick.
Yeah, this is something people don't understand is the incredible, like, people don't get when they look at hunters and fishermen that they're like, oh, look, like, they're not, it's not like they're super active. And it's like, it's a different kind of discipline to just sit there in the freezing fucking cold and wait.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and you not moving around, you just get colder.
Yeah, your body really, like, hypothermia is a thing.
Yeah.
And it
Oh, yeah.
happens faster than you think.
Yeah, like the amount of times I've gone out deer hunting and it's fucking freezing and you're just sitting there like,
Yeah, because you can't be like, you can't move.
no,
You have to be
just sit
still.
there and, like, just wait.
That actually sounds fucking miserable.
It
I
is.
wait for the bus sometimes for like 15 minutes in the cold, and I'm like, fuck. I'd like kill myself to get out of this. Like, if this
Yeah.
bus doesn't come in 10 minutes, I'm going to go postal on everyone else standing here. I can't imagine hours.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's a great time when you're catching fish.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And you have walls.
Yeah, when you have walls and a heater, fuck, I'll hang
Yeah, you
out
can do that
there
all
for
day.
days. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a great time.
That's funny.
But yeah,
Fucking
so I've
Canadian
just
on
let
us.
this- Yeah, it's a huge Canadian hobby, eh?
It is. Yeah, it's huge.
And crazy, when we first got out, though, it was still clear. There's no blizzard, so you could see, like, all the way across the lake. And there's fucking hundreds and hundreds
tons of people out
huts
there?
Oh, the Lake Simcoe, I bet you at any given time in, like, ice fishing season, when the ice is thick,
Yeah.
I bet you there's over 1,000 huts on Lake Simcoe.
Really?
Oh, no exaggeration. By Barrie, on the Barrie side, that whole wall, the entire fucking shoreline, will have like 1,000 huts on it.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you get the hut out there?
You fucking take it out there with a snowmobile or you walk it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some guys have like pop-up huts they use.
Yeah.
But the big ones that are on like, they're on like a sled.
Oh, and you just pull it?
Yeah, and you tow it behind you with a snowmobile.
Oh, that's
or a
crazy.
quad or
What do
something.
you do with the hole?
What do you mean?
The
when you're
hole
done?
that you drill, yeah.
You just fucking walk
leave it.
away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, water comes right up to the top.
Okay. So
And
that'll
it'll
just
freeze.
freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like a little, I don't know, like a 1 foot hole.
Okay. Because, like, what if, like, a snowmobile ski?
Yeah, that's why typically, like, when you leave, you make, like, a big mound of snow. And
Oh, so
they're
people
able
know.
to see that, like, there's been shit happening there, so they'll avoid it. And a big thing, like, I guess it's kind of unspoken, but they seem to make, like, roadways.
Oh, that they just form?
Yeah, like where everyone takes the same path all the time.
And then you split off.
And then you split off into little areas where you drill holes.
Okay.
And that's, like, everyone seems to adhere to that. There was one time that I watched a dude go out what was obviously, like, the road to get out.
Yeah.
To get out onto the ice. And this dude stops and starts drilling a hole in the fucking snowmobile, pulled up to him and was like, "You fucking retard, blah, 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 blah." Can't you see all the snowmobile tracks?
Yeah, true.
Well, dude, it's like
It's
a
like
fucking...
on the road. You're like, I'll stop right here.
Yeah, like, that's what he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, dude, it's a path going out that's obviously just ridden and in and out that's got to be, like, probably a truck length wide.
Yeah.
The thing's like fucking 20 feet wide.
You
and
can
it's
see this.
It's an obvious, like, highway for snowmobiles. And this dude's like, good spot to drill a hole.
Good spot to drill.
Yeah.
10 feet away from the shore.
Yeah, like,
Right here.
what are you doing?
I'd like to go ice fishing, but with a spear.
You can.
Just like wade over the hole.
You can. It's a big thing in, I want to say it's Minnesota.
Okay.
They'll cut out a channel with a chainsaw.
Okay.
So you have like it'll be like, say, maybe 2 feet by 4 feet
Okay.
that they cut out this big block and they yank it out of there. And that, they put a hut over it and you stand in the hut
With a spear.
with a spear and you can spear sturgeon.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's some concentration.
It is.
Because you're not just waiting on your
Well,
rod.
and
to
you
pull,
have
right?
like a jig that you use that's like a fake little fish,
Mm-hmm.
and that lures them in, and then when they come in, you fucking spear them.
Fucking fish is not ready for that.
No. It's cool though.
Oh, another fish.
I was,
Blam!
yeah, whack! I was cool though. I was glad, like, it's fun seeing people, taking people out for the first time, like, taking these guys out.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, you want to see...
Imparting the knowledge on the youth.
Yeah, like, you want to see something cool? And they're like, yeah, what? I'm like...
You want to sit on this ice for 2 hours in the snow?
Well, yeah.
You want to see something cool? Let's freeze our balls
Let's freeze
off.
our balls off for a few hours. So I was like, lay down and, like, cup over the hole and look in the hole and, like, cover
Oh, can you
all
just
the light.
see? Is it clear?
It's crystal clear, and you can see, like, your field of vision comes out like a big triangle, right?
Right.
So you can see tons of the ground.
That's pretty
Like
cool.
the bottom of the lake, and you can see fish moving around and shit.
That's
Like,
pretty crazy.
It's cool. It's really cool.
I'd like to like GoPro down in that.
I have a camera for ice fishing.
Okay, so you can
Yeah.
take a peek.
Yeah, so I'll drop it down sometimes and, like, look around and see what's
Okay.
going on.
Just to see if fish are about.
Yeah, see if there's stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a buddy who used to... he's a little bastard. he had like a 1-inch, this super long 1-inch drill bit.
Yeah.
And he would just walk along and just punch a hole and drop his camera down and be like, no fish. And he'd just and then he'd start walking again.
Really?
And he would just go for miles like that until he found a school of fish. And when he found a school of fish, then he drilled like a big asshole and started fishing.
Wow.
Yeah, but just enough for him to drop the camera through and like a sled's gonna go over it. You'd never even notice.
Never
it's
even
there,
notice.
right? Yeah, and he would just walk and do that.
Jesus.
Yeah, just like
Cheating.
like, he had like a hand drill for it.
Do you consider like fish finders cheating?
No, why? No. Why?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it depends. Like, I don't think it's the most skillful way you can fish, but I also can't imagine like fishing on a really big lake. Like, I've grown up doing Great Lakes fishing, so I don't think it's cheating. I grew up in the Great Lakes. Like, we go out trolling. You troll Lake Erie, troll Lake Ontario. I've trolled Lake Huron. You know, so you need a fish finder to have an idea. Like, they're all about 35 feet. You'd be shocked going along in Lake Erie. There's constantly fish under you.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's never ending. I've never been out and not seen it marking fish.
Okay.
Like, there's tons and tons of fish.
Because, I mean, I guess it's kind of like not the most skillful way, but going fishing and not catching anything is like one of the most
frustrating
things you could ever do.
Yeah, that's where I say, like, a more skillful way is like trout fishermen. Mm-hmm. So I like fly fishing for trout.
Yeah.
Walking along.
Well, that's the way, isn't it? That's the most
that's like the most
way.
Skilled way you can fish.
Are those the dorks of the fishing world? Are fly
They're
fishermen?
the nerdiest guys. Like, yeah, definitely. Like, me and my buddy Frez, like, we go out and he's a big fly fisherman and we'll go out fly fishing together sometimes, and it's like, yeah, that's a good day. And the sense of accomplishment is phenomenal.
How does fly fishing work?
What do you mean? You put on chest waders and you walk down the river.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it different than just dropping a line in the water?
You walk up the river. Yeah. Because what you're doing the whole time is like looking for structure, looking for a hole, looking for a boulder where like the trout are going to be like kind of drafting the boulder.
Yeah.
And then you're always walking up as to not scare them because they don't know you're behind them.
Right.
And then when you see structure and you kind of think that like you have to know where fish are going to be. And then you're trying to drop a fly to like float into that. So it looks like it's just presenting food that's just being...
Coming from upstream.
It's just coming from upstream to them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll hit them. And we hit them all the time like that.
I mean...
Fly fishing, if you're good at it, I have better luck fly fishing than I do ice fishing or trolling or anything else. I'll consistently hit...
Well, you're putting a
fish
lot
on
of
the
effort
fly.
in.
You're walking and like trying to find structure and like, yeah, you definitely put a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
You're really tricking the fish.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're doing a lot of work to be sneaky. You be sneaky, and like because you're not using like big baits and stuff, like they're tiny little flies and a tiny little hook.
Yeah.
And then you're like super gently like using this fucking weighted line to get it up.
Yeah.
And then drop it, and then it floats into where their field of vision is, and they'll pop out from behind a rock and
Because
grab
you gotta
it.
like reel to keep tension, but you don't want to yank it.
Yeah, and you don't want it to look abnormal. You still want it to be flowing kind of regularly downstream.
That's pretty intense.
It is. It's a great time. It's my favorite way to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But definitely
fly
nerdy.
fishing is the nerdiest. Those dudes who
Do
fly
they look
fish,
down on people that just like drop a bobber in the water?
100%. Yeah, like guys who fly fish, if you tell them that like all you do is buy worms and you use a bobber, they're like, you're a pleb.
Oh, you're a baby.
Yeah, you've never learned.
You've never spent 6 hours stringing your own fly.
yeah, like tying flies. Guys who like my buddy
He
ties
makes his own?
Yeah, he ties all his own flies.
Yeah.
But he's really good at it now. They used to be piss ugly. He used to make the worst looking flies.
Well, it's practice, right?
It is, yeah. Now they look great. He could sell them.
Every hobby has that upper echelon of people that like some would say take it too far.
Yeah.
It's like if you're only really fishing if you're fly fishing to them.
See,
everything else doesn't count.
What's crazy to me though is that their efficacy is much, much higher.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't think I've ever gone out fly fishing and not caught a fish.
Yeah.
It's better. You will get more fish, but you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
Like,
to them is like just dropping a hook with a worm on it the same as like fishing with dynamite.
Yeah.
Like
it's
it's
like wait,
there's no
like-
skill.
yeah, there's no skill involved. You're using live bait. Of course, it's gonna go eat the real food.
Yeah, you're not tricking it really.
Yeah.
You're just giving it food with a knife in it.
Yeah, exactly. And half the time,
They
like
eat the worm.
yeah, they just steal the worm and don't touch the hook because
Yeah.
it's a fucking terrible presentation.
Yeah, I know. That's a weird feeling when you like feel the bite and you
And
yank
you
it up.
and you're like, huh.
And you're like, oh, they just took the fucking... Like, I got outsmarted. Like,
That's
get
the
pissed.
thing. They can see the hook and they know to not bite it.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
they just
obviously know
grab the
what
tip of the
sharp shit
worm
is.
and yank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. You ever feel bad, though, when you, like, yank and you get them, like, up the side or something? Like, you get the hook not in their mouth?
Yeah, what's it called? A foul hook.
A foul hook, yeah.
Yeah.
You, like, get them in the gut or something?
Yeah, you get
Because
'em
they're,
in the
like,
belly.
swimming over the hook and you think it's a bite. You yank it up their stomach.
Yeah, I got one once. I will say the hardest way to get a fish in. A fucking carp.
Yeah?
No intention of going for carp.
It just happened.
It touched the line. It swam over the line and like brushed my line, so I saw like a tick tick as his tail went over the line.
Yeah. Oh, you get him in the tail?
And I fucking yanked him. But hooking into a carp, like I do love carp fishing, but I was not this time fishing for carp. Hooking into a carp is like, it's like hooking into a Mack truck.
Oh, and you just swim hard?
They'll just swim and they're 35 pounds and they're just going to swim away from you.
Yeah.
Like they're stronger than you are for sure.
Yeah.
Like than your whatever rod and reel combo you got set up that they didn't notice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hooked him in the tail, and so his whole body is mobile, and you're not steering his head at all. And you know what I mean?
He's steering you.
He's steering, and he was just going, and I got him in, and he must have been
Exhausted.
I think I scaled him at 38 pounds.
Jesus, that's a big fish.
That's a fucking monster. Yeah.
Did you release him?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just for, like, respect the game? Like, you fought
yeah,
for it?
and like I just won't eat carp typically.
Why not?
They're bottom feeders.
Okay. You don't eat catfish, then?
I do eat catfish, but carp are really fishy, and they're really fishy, and like they don't. Catfish are predatory, so they eat a lot of small fish.
Okay.
They also ruffle around the mud and they eat worms and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They eat a lot of small fish. Carp eat like just shit on the bottom of
Garbage.
the river. Yeah, just like algae and stuff. Like it's gross.
Slime.
Yeah, they're just gross. They're eating like leftover food. They're eating fucking rotting pieces of meat in the river. Shit
They're like the
that.
raccoons of the sea.
Yeah, like it's gross. I just don't want to eat them. Catfish are predatory. Like you can catch catfish on a lure,
Yeah.
and they'll like swim up off the bottom to grab it, thinking it's a little fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like them, I'll eat. I like catfish. Blackened
love
catfish is
catfish, yeah.
delicious.
It's like the best.
Yeah, it is.
Those guys that noodle for it.
Yeah,
That shit is
that's
insane.
crazy.
Those guys, I mean, like, that's the most redneck shit I've ever seen. Catfish is already, like, brings an annotation of redneck 'cause it's
Yeah.
from the South.
Yeah.
Right? You think of, like, Cajun cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, why do we even bother with a rod and reel?
When you just
when I can
use
just
your
have
arm.
it eat my hand, and then when it eats my hand, I grab them, yank them out.
Yeah, grab him by the tongue and pull him out. Like, what?
That's got to be the worst for a catfish.
You know what always kills me is you're always doing it in, like, Louisiana and shit, and it's like, how do you not know there's a fucking gator in there waiting to bite your fingers?
They don't know.
They don't.
They don't, and they're like, because they got to get their hand in the
They're
little
up to
hole.
their fucking
They're like
neck
up to their
in water.
chin in water.
Yeah.
And they're like just
In-
looking, and they're doing that thing where they're feeling around and visualizing it in
Yeah.
their head. So they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then just come up with this fish that's like, oh.
I know, it blows my mind.
And then like you do that, you release the catfish. Like next week, he gets noodled again.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
He's like, fuck, I keep eating hands.
It's gotta feel like getting deep throated.
Yeah, because they bite it, and then they shove their hand deeper in and grab them.
Yeah, they grab him by the insides.
Yeah.
And then your whole body yanked out. It's gotta be fucking awful.
Yeah, catfish though, man. I caught a catfish once on Lake Erie down in Wheatley, I think.
Okay.
And I had like a pretty nice rod, like an 8-foot rod.
Mm.
And I hook into this thing, and I thought it was a log.
No, they're just dense.
Yeah, like I just something took, and I thought I got snagged, and so I'm like trying to pull to get the snag off, and then it started moving like I could pull it towards me. And I was like, oh, I'm hooked on a fucking like tree that I'm just gonna drag across this fucking chunk of lake right now till I get it over to me, right? And I was like, fuck sakes, man. So I'm going. I dragged this thing for like 10 fucking minutes, just dragging it along.
Just trying to get your lure back.
Trying to get my lure back. I'm like, I have to jump in and pull this fucking tree out. And it gets like 2 feet away from me.
Was a fish on?
And it's a fucking like 3.5 foot channel catfish. And it sees me and then suddenly is like, oh my God, I'm on a line. And it fucking just goes, dude, and dives and snaps my fucking rod. So then I'm trying to reel
on
it
half
in
a rod.
on half a fucking rod with just like the first eyelet, trying to get him in. I finally got him in just because he was lazy. And yeah, dude, I got like 6 massive fillets off that guy.
What do you think he was trying to do?
He just, I don't know. I think he just thought he was getting pulled along and didn't really think about it. He was like, oh, I'm going this way. Like the catfish seem...
Are they dumb? They seem like they would be
like
the
one of the
dumb
dumber fish. Yeah.
There's something about their face, because they got that wide mouth.
Yeah. They're like...
Like, they seem simple. They live in mud.
There's some, like, them and fucking bass just seem especially dumb to me.
Yeah, bass seem dumb.
Yeah, bass will just... Like, have you ever seen the guy who, like, he goes out and gets, like, an iPhone 4 at a flea market?
No.
Drills a hole in the top, puts an eyelet, ties a line to it, and then drills a hole in the bottom of the iPhone and puts a hook on it. Chucks it out in the lake and hits a bass in, like 3 minutes.
Yeah, he wanted to see if there are games on the phone.
Dude, like, they will just bite anything that moves. Like,
that fucking rocks.
Yeah.
He wanted to play some Subway Surfers.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It might have seen an iPhone before. One of the things I like watching are the guys that, like, they'll snorkel in, like, city rivers and stuff and see what they find on the bottom of the lake. A lot of phones. Or bottom of rivers. A lot of phones, yeah. Because people will go kayaking or whatever. Or, like...
And drop their phone.
Or take, like, a lazy river and eat shit into the water and drop their phone. He's found, like, keys. He'll find phones.
Yo, you guys send me this guy.
Yeah.
This is, like my brand of autism. I love that.
So many sunglasses, hats,
oh, dude,
lunch boxes.
Like, we should go
have you
do
seen
that.
the people that they'll get a big fucking flat magnet on a rope and just throw it into the river?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
haul it up and see what
magnet
they get?
fishing.
Yeah, they'll get like guns.
They get all sorts of
and
stuff.
then they gotta call the cops.
Yeah.
And the cops have to show up.
They
and
get
usually the cops give them a hard time.
Yeah, I know. The magnet fishing, certain states have laws against magnet fishing, which is crazy to me.
Whatever's down there, fucking
Leave it alone. Yeah, leave it alone. We don't want to know.
But you'll get like milk jugs from the 1910s.
Yeah, and
like
then
bikes.
Bikes. I've seen jewelry. I've seen guys pull out like diamond rings and shit. Magnet fishing. I would love to magnet fish down in the Thames.
You'd probably find some crazy shit.
You'd find crazy shit.
Right at like you'd want to go where a bridge is and like go straight down off the bridge.
Yeah, that's what they always do.
Yeah,
right?
because that's where people would toss shit.
Yeah, like can you imagine doing it under the like Warncliffe Bridge? You know where like right at the corner of like Warncliffe and Riverside there, that bridge that goes over.
Yeah,
dude. Or the Springbank one on Wonderland Road.
Yeah.
That, like, Guy Lombardo Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, you find...
Do it there, there'd be tons of shit.
Dead people.
Oh, yeah.
How many dead people do you think are in the Thames right now?
Quite a few.
Yeah, probably lots, eh?
Yeah.
Like, even if you say from the past, like, 100 years.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
I know that,
Oh, fuck, some girl just, like, died in the Thames last year, didn't she?
Yeah.
Like a
got
teenage
swept
girl?
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just died in there.
She went down fucking around in spring thaw, and it swept her away.
That's quick water.
It's crazy, and the river comes up like probably 15
Yeah,
feet.
I fucking love when the Thames is roaring.
Me too.
You know what I mean? And it floods Harris Park, and
I bought kayaks years ago when I was like fucking 18.
yeah,
I bought 2 kayaks, one for me and my buddy, and we used to wait for spring thaw, and we would be out every day when the river's going nuts like that. We would just go out every single day.
yeah, it's awesome.
I used to, once upon a time before I had the kayaks, the reason I bought the kayaks is that we kept waiting for spring thaw like all through high school and shit, and we would take out. Remember, you could buy like an inflatable boat for the beach. Yeah, like the Explorer 2000.
Yeah, it was like blue and yellow.
Yeah. We would take those
fuck.
down the fucking. We take it down Medway Creek into the Thames, like the little creek that goes through the university. Ride all the way down that till it fed down the Thames, and then take it in the Thames. The one day we got into the Thames and just got way the fuck down, like weren't really paying attention how far we'd gone.
Yeah.
And we were like out by Kamoka, and we had to walk back. Ooh. Yeah, we walked back
holding the things.
Carrying a fucking oars in this plastic boat.
That's actually fucking awful.
Oh, dude, it was a great time. Some of the best times of my life.
Like, the only thing that sucks about doing that stuff where you float down rivers is you need to, like, tell a buddy, like, can you wait for me?
And pick me up
Pick
down
me
there.
up at the end, which means he can't come.
Yeah.
You know?
Or the other thing you do is, like, me and my same buddy that I go fly fishing with, we've done it where we, like, each of us drive, and one dude parks down at the end because we both have trucks.
Yeah.
So he'll park down the end, and I follow him down there, and then I pick him up, and we drive back up to this where we want to start.
Yeah.
And then we load the boat and everything and get in, and then we
rocks.
float down. Yeah. Or the other thing, like now that we're getting older and have more money, now we have a little like 10-horse Johnson. Like a little 10-horsepower Johnson motor.
Okay.
So we can rip back up the river.
Oh, that's cool.
Exactly, yeah. Like it's strong enough that we'll float down with like an electric trolling motor, but then when we're like, okay, time to go back, we just like hammer it up the river.
I have like a very formative memory of being like 18, and we did like a river out like west or south of the city. It was probably the Thames.
Yeah.
But we did like an hour of floating and just had like a couple beers and a separate little floaty guy cooler, and just like floated down in the middle of the summer.
It's a great
super lazy.
time.
Had a couple beers because like there's other people doing it.
Yeah.
And you slowly catch up to people. How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty good.
This is something I think people don't realize. So many people
That you can just go in the river.
Yeah, so many people here are like, "Oh, the river's so gross." And
It's
I'm like,
not that gross.
It's not. Yeah,
it's not just, it's not the Thames in the 80s.
Yeah, like
okay?
We've put like millions of dollars into cleaning it up, and not just us. Like all the other cities, like Guelph and shit, that are all along the Thames.
Yeah.
We've all invested tons of money into cleaning the river.
We're not like manufacturing on the river anymore.
Not at all.
Dumping shit.
It's like it's spring fed.
Yeah, it's a nice river.
It's a pretty nice river. Yeah. So like, I'll go out and like float down, man. You'll see tons of people.
Yep.
Out like
also this is one of the
cities. What are they called? The donuts
tubes?
or like a tube? Yeah. Tubes. Yeah, tons of people out in tubes, just like hanging out with their buddies, having a beer, and they like tie a little rope between all of them. They float around together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great time.
You're allowed to go in the river here.
And you can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. This isn't like there are cities where you can't go in the river.
Really?
Yeah, like New York, you can't go in the river.
Why not?
So you get caught and you get fined. They like patrol it.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't just jump in.
That's crazy. Yeah,
I think Chicago's like that. You can't jump in the Chicago River.
Holy shit.
Because I think you're a liability. There's too much boat traffic.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
here we don't have, like...
It's too small for
You'll
boats.
get, like, one or two... Mostly it's people in canoes or kayaks are going slow.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by the Staten Island ferry.
Yeah, I guess, right?
And then, they got to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, here it's, like, canoes, kayaks... One time I've seen another person out with like a motor. But again, it's like a little 10-horse and they're in a 12-foot aluminum. Like, you're not going to fucking miss somebody. You can see people.
Yeah, the biggest
away.
danger there is that the guy in the boat's going to hit ground.
Yeah,
like, that's the biggest danger.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, fuck, you're like ballsy in that thing.
Yeah, like this is really not that deep.
Yeah.
The Thames gets really fucking shallow.
Oh, there's parts where we have to get out and push the boat along.
Yeah, portage.
Yeah, like, kind of. We, like, kind of just gotta scoot it along. We can't be in it or it won't float. You know?
Yeah,
but
if
we get out of it, it's enough that, like, we can kind of guide it through the rocks.
Tip the motor up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tip the motor up and we get out and just kind of walk alongside it. drinking beer.
I would love to fucking portage. I feel like that's something I should do.
Do you want to fucking go out in the boat
should
on the
probably-
river this year?
Well, does portage have to be a canoe?
Like, we don't have to portage. We can just take
Yeah, I
my
know, but
motorized boat.
Well, yes, I'd love to go out on the boat. But I feel like specifically portage is like...
That's a canoe where you, like, got to get out and walk.
Yeah, walk with it on your back. And then that's why some of those canoes have that shaped bar.
Yeah, that's
with
to go over your shoulders.
Yeah, go over your shoulder. I've seen it on people's heads.
Oh, no, it goes over your shoulders.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Those people are stupid.
It's just on their forehead.
No, it goes over the back of your shoulders. And if you have nothing in the canoe and you set it there, it'll balance like this.
Yep.
It'll just stay balanced.
Yeah, that's why canoes are so fucking expensive. They're meticulously made.
Yeah, it's a massive craft to make canoes. People don't understand that, and it's like
Yeah.
a well-made canoe is, it should be expensive. It's hard
Yeah,
to
you
make.
you can go in a canoe too.
For a long, if they're well made, like ones that track really well too, where like all you gotta do is load your gear up at the front and you sit in the back.
Yeah.
And you just fucking,
Yeah, you get two guys rowing in a canoe.
holy shit, you can
can
go
get
for
that move,
miles,
and you
man. That's
move.
going quick.
Yeah.
That's how all the natives got around before we got here.
That's true. And then we brought internal combustion engines, baby.
yeah.
No, I was like, last time I was in a canoe, I was like really surprised. It was like me and this buddy, we were just each rowing on a side.
Yeah.
And it was like,
you
we
just
were
go.
fucking like humming.
Yeah. You're humming along enough. Well, put it this way. Like, I've gone out, me and my buddy, and we'll go out canoeing together sometimes. Mm-hmm. The Bugman.
Yeah.
And we've gone out and, like, fast enough that I think, like, I'll put a rod in. I could put a rod in and troll.
Yeah, yeah. Making a little wake.
Yeah, like, you've got a little wake coming off especially if you're on, like, a northern lake. Like, another buddy of mine, we go up and canoe up at his cottage.
Yeah.
And, like, I have trolled off the canoe there and caught shit.
Damn.
Because you're going fast enough, man. Like, there's wake coming off the canoe. If it's a calm northern lake, yeah, like, you're fucking cooking along.
I would like to be a part of, like a long ship with the big long oars.
Oh,
with
that
everyone.
would be so
and there's a guy
cool.
like beating a drum, like boom, boom, boom. To,
Yeah,
like, time
like
up the
Chinese
rows.
long ships.
You know,
You
like
can
the
do that
Viking
in
ones?
Toronto.
You can?
Yeah. With the big crazy looking sails, like the Chinese ones and the Viking ones and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to row.
Dude, you can totally do that.
I want to row, but for like 5 minutes.
They have massive, crazy sails on them.
Yeah, to help.
To help, and then you row.
Yeah, I think the rowing is like if there's zero wind.
Yeah.
You can like, all right, get all the slaves down there to row.
Yeah,
You probably get fucking, those slaves probably ripped.
dude, rowing is, I'm pretty sure, I'd have to check with Dr. Dempsey on this, but I believe, because he used to be a huge rower.
Yeah. Is it like, it's obviously really good for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the number one anaerobic activity or aerobic activity.
Anaerobic.
Anaerobic.
Anaerobic is when you expend more oxygen than you take in.
No, so then it's aerobic. Anaerobic's like something you can only do for a short amount of time.
Yeah, you can only do it for a short amount of time because you deplete oxygen.
Yeah, that's anaerobic?
That's
we
anaerobic.
Sure on that?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
aerobic.
70% sure.
It's aerobic then, because you can keep pace theoretically and just row for hours.
For an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anaerobic, that's the beep test. You remember the beep test?
Anaerobic thing, yeah.
Yeah, it tests your oxygen carrying capacity based on how far you can go. Because if you're expending
On
oxygen...
how fast you are too, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love the beep test.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
I loved it. There's a whole... You could talk about the fucking beep test for hours.
Yeah.
One, that guy's voice was so soothing
Yeah.
on the tape. And it was the same voice, right?
Always.
And then they switched to a girl when I was like later in high school. I didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
There's always one fat guy who can't make the first beep.
Which is crazy.
Which is awesome. Like, the fact that they even made him do it. I don't know. What's more embarrassing? Not making the first beep or being like, sit this one out, Tubby?
Yeah, this isn't for you.
We know where you're going to get one or none. So don't
Yeah,
bother.
when they make the first one and can't make the second one, it's like, holy shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when someone does that, when I see that happen, I'm always like, oh, you're like fucking wildly
And
out
it's
of
like,
shape.
it's not that you're even tired yet.
Yeah,
It's
they
your
just
body
can't.
can't move fast enough.
Yeah. That's
they're
what I mean,
hauling
they literally
ass.
can't do it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you are like wildly out of shape.
Yeah. It's always
Yeah.
fun to see people with like, they have all the acceleration in the world, but no, the top speed is so low.
Is so low.
They're like hauling ass.
They're
running.
powerful.
They're
They're
running as
powerful.
hard as they
Yeah.
can and not moving. And then there's always the one guy that lasts 10 rounds longer than everyone else.
Yeah, and you're like, he's an athlete.
You're like, all right, buddy. Like, are we going for the record or can we pack this in?
Yeah.
Like, we're cutting into lunch now.
Yeah.
And I'm not allowed to leave because you're on fucking 27. I get it, dude. You run marathons.
Yeah,
Like, fuck off.
Yeah, they're so fucking fit. It's, you know, another one I love is it's force test. When you're in the military, like every year you're supposed to do your force test.
What's that?
Which is like it's physical aptitude test.
Okay.
You have to renew it every year.
Standing
It's called
jump
a force.
and-
No, like it's like sandbag carries and all this
Okay.
stuff, right? Like to prove that in the event that everyone was sent off to war, that you are still fully capable of being like an infantry soldier.
Yes.
You know, physically still fully capable of
Yeah.
infantry work. But yeah, I used to love it. And I would go as hard as I fucking could.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love doing the force test.
Yeah.
I had to do one, like, I had to renew my force test last year.
Oh, yeah?
Last year I was when I had to go in the reserve unit.
You got to do a bunch of push-ups?
I think push-ups are part of it. There's like shuttle runs and stuff, like suicide runs where you got to like go to these lines.
Yeah.
But at each time you hit a line, you got to drop down hands and feet, like you're on your belly, and you like lift your feet and your hands, like so you're just on your chest, and you're like whoa, and then poof, and like pop yourself back up and run. And you have to
Fuck
keep,
that.
dude. It's so much fun. I love the.
You're the
force
only
test.
guy that likes that.
No, my
That's like
buddies.
burpees,
I have a
but
couple
worse.
buddies that love it too. I love it.
I fucking hated burpees.
Really?
I fucking hated
burpees
it.
are the.
I'm tired. Like, my legs are tired thinking of it.
So in Canada, our like military thing is push-ups, and they make people do push-ups. Most militaries are, but the U.S. Navy,
Yeah.
apparently their big thing is burpees.
Oh.
Because it's just way harder.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard.
Yeah, so that's why all their sailors are like 180 pounds and ripped. Because like anytime you get in trouble, they're like,
gay dudes.
shut the fuck up.
Gay dudes are always fit.
Shut the fuck up. What about bears?
Yeah, those guys are strong though.
Okay, so anyway.
Not denying that everyone in the Navy is gay, but
Not-
not every gay guy is fit. I've
Not
seen some-
every sailor is gay. That I actually didn't know like any that were gay. I knew Army guys that were gay as fuck though. Actually, you know who the gayest is? Air Force.
Yeah, well,
They
there's,
literally have tea time.
yeah.
They literally have. They're the only ones that do this.
You're
they have
thinking-
tea time. They stop all of them
Yeah.
because their job's not important at all and they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
So they stop every day, not for lunch, not for break,
For tea.
tea time.
I
And they
like
all
that.
get together and have tea and sit around and drink out of their teacups. And it is.
It's like remnants of the colonial empire.
Oh, yeah, that they're like, we are the fancy Air Force and we don't
Yeah.
have to work very
See,
hard.
This is the thing. You're equating gay with lame. I'm equating gay with homosexual.
No, I think that having tea time is quite homosexual.
No.
You don't think so?
You drink tea.
Yeah, but I don't have tea time. I just have a tea.
Every time you have tea is tea time.
No.
Have you ever had high tea?
That's what I'm saying. That's what they do. High tea. That's what
You've
it's
never
called.
done high tea?
No.
I fucking love
What's
it.
why?
They bring out the platter with the layers, and there's like little sandwiches and like pastries,
Oh, you would love the Air Force.
and then you get to pick a tea, and then they bring you a teapot with your tea, and then all the accompaniments, and it's a nice time. You'd love it. Like if I know
Let's
you're
go
like
to
you're-
high tea. Who does high tea?
tons of places. We
Really?
pick a place, yeah.
All right, let's go to high tea one day.
You would fucking love it. You're acting like you're being
It
dandy
sounds
right
kinda
now,
good.
and I respect it. But it's lunch, but you get like nice and like obviously you've had like nice tea. You understand the difference between
Yeah.
like a nice tea and like swill.
Yeah.
You understand. So you get like a nice tea. You got all your like dairy and sugar options. You got and then you got like cucumber sandwiches and fucking scones, and it's good. Yeah, and you fucking cut it up with whoever you're with. It's great.
We had 2 beers for lunch in the Navy
Yeah.
because we're grown ass men.
Grown-ass men drink tea all the time.
Grown-ass men drink beer all the time.
You can do both. The British Empire ran on tea and beer. That's what,
Facts.
that's all
That's where
they
it
had.
comes from. That is one thing I miss so much is the super convoluted fucking 600-year-old traditions that
Yeah.
they would do in the Navy. I'm like, why do we do this? And they're like,
Well, the British did it once, and
they're like, because we're part of the royal military, and like we've always done this. And it's like, well, this is it seems like a waste of time. And they're like, whoa, this is tradition. Don't.
well, the thing is, like back in the day, they didn't have much.
So that was
right?
like
So
the thing to
that
do.
was like if they took away their rum ration back in the day, like you'd have a full scale mutiny. Now no one gives a fuck. But like tell a sailor in 1850 that he doesn't get his rum anymore after taking like grape shot to the legs, right? Like he'll fucking riot. He's deaf now. Because he was just in like a side-by-side cannon firing with the Spanish, right? He's dead and he watched 40 people die. But tomorrow at 11 o'clock, he gets his tea time.
Yeah.
And he's going to fucking take it.
He's gonna take tea
Because
time.
like, other than that, he's got to eat like cardboard hardtack.
Yeah.
And like drink water with algae floating in it.
Oh, it's brutal. It is brutal. The poor guys.
Yeah. You ever hear of the Franklin expedition?
No, what's this?
It was a British expedition to find the Northwest Passage.
Okay.
So they sailed 2 ships up like through the islands of Nunavut because we hadn't mapped all that yet,
Yeah.
right? And they were gone for like 4 or 5 years. And they sailed.
What?
Yeah. But they prepared for like 3 years. It was like a 3-year expedition that they prepared for. But as you're sailing up there, when winter comes, your ship gets frozen.
Yeah.
So you camp out for like 6 months, not moving.
Yeah.
And then it thaws, and then you go again, right? And they couldn't find it, and they had to keep going around trying to find it. And like the 3rd winter, they get stuck, and they're like, we're fucking out of food. And like a lot of their food, because this is like the beginning of canning, right? They use like lead to tack the cans shut. So a bunch of their cans got lead in them. So a bunch of people got lead poisoning. All their food and like their water was fucking running out, and they tried to walk it down to Canada.
What?
Yeah.
Did they survive or they
No,
all died?
none of them. All of them died.
Really?
Yeah, like 300 dudes.
Wow.
Like 2 ships, yeah. And the ships are still up there. Like they're all sunk now, but
That'd be really cool to see.
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
That is one thing I really, really want to do is scuba dive some shipwrecks.
Yeah,
That's
you can
like
do that close
That's
to
like
here.
a bucket list I want to
You
do.
can do that in Tobermory.
Yeah, I know.
There's good ones there too.
I free dived in Tobermory looking
Yeah.
at shipwrecks just with like a pair of goggles.
Yep.
Bitch of a time.
It is
Let
a
me
bitch
tell
of a
you.
time.
Yeah, especially I was like smoking heavier at the time. Yeah, I'd come up to the surface and be like,
Yeah, you're like down there for like 15 seconds. I remember as a kid, I could hold my breath for so fucking long.
really?
Yeah, I could hold my breath for like, I don't know if it felt like a minute.
I can hold my breath for like 90 seconds.
I
right now.
cannot hold my breath for that long.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like underwater. I'm talking.
Yeah, I can swim and hold my breath for like, I can be swimming and hold it for about a minute. I can hold my breath and like stay still underwater.
I'm not
for
going to do it on the
probably 90
podcast because that's
seconds.
awful content. But I feel like I could. I feel like it's probably like 45 seconds now that I could hold my breath.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, I know, but it was better.
Yeah, just train it.
Yeah, I guess I just stopped smoking.
Have I ever told you about this? Before I went into the Navy the first time, you used to go and do laps all the time. I don't know why I thought this was a good thing to do, but it was really good for my cardio. But I would go to the pool, like the public pool, and do laps and see how many laps, because they're 25 meters.
Yeah, something like that.
I could do 4 laps underwater entirely. And the first time I did it, a lifeguard jumped in.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, fair enough. You should have given him a heads up.
I know. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm like trying to train my lungs. And he was like, we were laughing about it. He was super cool with me out there. You see him all the time. But yeah, like I could do like 100 meters underwater.
That's fucked.
It is, because it's like that. Back then I was doing a lot, and I bet you it was close to 2 minutes.
That is probably, close to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And, like, exerting yourself, too.
Well, because you're going, and then you got to stop, change direction, go back.
Could you do the flip and the push?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're fully underwater, right?
I don't get how the fucking Olympic swimmers time that so perfectly every
You
time.
train it really
Yeah, I know
hard.
you train it, but, like, I feel like they're not because their heads are down. Right?
No,
Or
they have markers on the floor to know when you're close enough.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that took some of the excitement away.
Yeah,
from me.
it gives them an idea how close they are to the wall, and then based on, like, your length as a person, you know approximately, like when you
you
get
gotta
close
do
to
it.
that.
I thought they were, like, timing it off strokes.
That's crazy.
I know. I thought they're Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
That's not out of the question.
Some of them might be, but, like,
You
yeah.
think Michael Phelps?
Michael Phelps
He's
is
probably
a monster.
automatic.
Yeah.
He probably has the muscle memory of a pool lane.
Yeah, just knows exactly
He
how
knows
long it
exactly
is.
how long it is because the pool is the same.
What's
time.
that dude doing nowadays?
Michael Phelps?
Yeah. What is Michael Phelps
Resting
up to?
on his laurels.
On his what?
On his laurels. He's probably just made so much fucking money. He's
I
probably
don't know.
been out doing weird
Olympic
shit.
athletes don't make any money.
Yeah, but he did ads and shit. He got famous.
Yeah, he did get famous. The man is built to swim. He has massive hands.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
Doesn't he have
they're-
webbed feet too or something?
Yeah, like he has freakishly long fingers. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's built to be a swimmer.
Yeah, his hands look like giant paddles. And they're like all uniformly long and down.
Yeah.
It's
He has
very
more medals
strange.
than most countries.
Really?
Yeah.
He's American, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that Subway commercial he was in where he's swimming in the concrete?
He's 40 this year.
Damn.
He's 39 years old right now. He turns 40 in June.
One of the goats.
That's crazy that he's that old. He has 28 gold medals.
Yeah. 28 golds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is it the picture of him wearing them all? Have you seen that?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. He's just standing there like, yeah, that's
He's covered in gold, yeah.
that is outrageous. He's also fucking ripped.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, this
that's how
is him with
swimmers
like
are built.
bronzes and everything, and silvers. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's got to be like 40 fucking medals.
Yeah, he's that guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I remember when Michael Phelps was swimming in the Olympics, it was like everyone was just like, who's going to come second? That's
Yeah.
the like exciting part. Because like Michael Phelps has this in the bag. He's just too good at swimming.
It looks like he runs like a training thing now, which makes sense.
Teaching kids how to swim.
No, I think like training athletes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like fine tuning.
Yeah, could you imagine like getting taught how to paddle water by fucking Michael Phelps?
There's better uses of his.
He just
skill.
has to like flick a finger like that. And he treads water like it comes right up.
Yeah, that's crazy. You
That-
never think about people like that, eh? Like they
What do
just
they do
fall
after?
off for years.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
better
remember
that way.
Christine Nesbitt?
No.
Remember her? She's from London. She was like a speed skater, I think.
Oh,
Gold
yeah,
medalist.
yeah.
Whatever happened to her?
I don't know.
They must all just get like a bunch of seed money from sponsors and shit, and
Yeah.
then
Cer-
start a company
certain
training
countries
people.
do. Canada doesn't. The States doesn't either. But certain countries give you stuff if you get medals. Like
Oh,
certain
they
countries, you'll
set
get
you
like
up?
$500,000 if you get a gold, and like some countries, they'll give you an apartment. They'll give you like a 2-bedroom apartment in their capital that you just have.
That's yours now.
That's
because
yours.
You're a gold
Like it's
medalist.
usually the poorer countries
yeah.
give you this stuff because
I
there's
know
also
China takes good care of their Olympic
Yeah.
athletes.
They really do, but they've been
Bred
brought
for
up
it.
to be Olympic athletes their whole life
Yeah.
because they'll recognize like in a kid like he's
They
got
do
the
genetic
genetics.
testing in children.
He's
yeah.
got the genetics. Like that's what this kid does now.
You wanna see something cool one day? Go and look up the Chinese Olympic powerlifting team.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a whole school, and they live
freaks.
there, and they're like, dude, their training is. They're not like American powerlifters where they got big guts and shit. These guys are trim,
Yeah,
like good shape, healthy.
and they just power lift.
And they're powerlifters. They're big, but they're not as big as you'd think for the amount of weight they're putting up.
Yeah,
And yeah, they just like the whole gym is set up so that like they go and do their set, and then they immediately sit down or in like this super comfy chair where they are like fully at rest. And they're there and they're just supposed to like breathe and they're completely at rest to recover between the lifts each time. It's crazy.
Well, the thing with the Chinese weightlifters is they have no problem eating chicken and rice for every meal.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just trim as fuck
just
all
their
the
food.
time. Yeah, it's great, dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're impressive. I do find it. I know people have like their moral qualms with it. I don't, obviously.
I think you can quit.
Yeah, they can
You
be like,
want
I don't
to.
want to do this.
But
why would you?
You know.
A bunch of people with way more knowledge than you came up and were like, you have the genetics to be a gold medalist. Do you want to be?
We'll get you there.
We'll get you there. You just have to do this every day, and you're going to eat, sleep, and breathe this. You do it.
I'd fucking do it.
Yeah, I'll tell you from having lived, eat, sleep, and breathe military that it's really, really nice. It's the one time I agree with your crazy socialist shit. Like, the most extreme socialism, where I fully agree, was when I was in the military. I was like, this is pretty sweet.
Everything's taken care of.
Everything's taken care of. I just come here and live work, and, like, everything's comfy. I get food, you know? Like, there's a dude whose job it is to do the food.
Yep.
You know? And everyone just lives
And
in
it's
this
my
thing.
job to march around for a bit.
Yeah, like, sick. I like it here. Yeah.
There's some Olympic events are so funny to me because it's like they're not made equal. There's like in the Winter Olympics, there's like hockey.
Yeah.
Which
is a sport.
That's
huge.
a
A sport.
But then there's speed skating.
Yeah.
Which is like,
to me, that's a like very fine-tunable skill.
That's a skill.
That
right?
is a skill.
I get
yeah.
that it's a sport because you're competing.
Same with powerlifting, right? Like that is a skill.
That's a skill.
You are developing one particular skill.
But everyone in Canada watches the gold medal hockey game.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if Canada's in it.
Yeah.
Which they mostly are.
Yes, almost always.
Nobody fucking watches the 5th round of dressage.
What's dressage?
Like the horses.
Oh,
But they're not.
Olympic one?
Yeah, but they're not doing the jumps. It's the one where they like have to prance really pretty,
Yeah.
which is a skill, right? That's like hard
it's
to
weird,
fucking
though.
do, and you got to have this bond with your horse, and you got to be really
That's
good
the thing.
at it.
You got to be like all bonded with the horse.
and like it's not easy.
Yeah, some
but-
of those people like live their whole lives with their horse.
Yeah, when their horse dies, it's like losing a partner.
Yeah, like man, one of my mom's best friends.
Yeah.
She had a horse that she got when she was like 10.
Oh.
And like it was born from her mom's horse. And when this horse was born, she was there when it was born.
Yeah.
And she owned this fucking horse and had it Shanty and had it her whole life.
Yeah.
And I remember when Shanty fucking died, like my mom's friend,
Inconsolable.
she was inconsolable for months.
Yeah.
Months.
These girls and their horses, man.
Oh, it was literally like she lost her fucking like
husband,
wife.
yeah.
Yeah, her husband. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Well, because I don't know, it's like a weird bond they get, and it freaks me out a little bit when people get bonded with animals like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But I understand that that's got to be heartbreaking. My cat died. I cried for like a couple days.
Yeah, for them, yeah, you got to think like she trained it. She grooms
trained
it every day.
She grooms it every day. They do this like skill together, right? There's tons of like nonverbal communication and understanding.
Yeah, where they can read each other's body language.
They can read,
like,
and their eyes and stuff, and they can figure that out.
Like hunters, like when a hunter loses like a fucking bird dog or something.
Oh yeah,
dude, those guys like.
My grandfather talked about his bird dog that died in the '80s. He teared up.
yeah, because they spend all day every day with them, teaching them to like what we're saying that like they don't have to be like sit. They like
it just does it.
It just knows what he wants based on what's happening, and it can feel it. They can feel each other, and then like when he's like, oh, they know like, oh, time to lay down and be quiet.
Yeah,
you know, and like they're just so connected. And then when a fucking bird dog dies, dude, you've never seen a big redneck get like just pudding soft.
Especially when the bird, like once they get old, you kind of retire them.
Yeah.
Right? And
then they're just your pet.
They're just your pet.
Yeah.
But if they die in their bird hunting phase, holy fuck.
It's like they didn't even get to be my pet. My
I know.
lap pet.
Oh,
you know?
fuck. Yeah, those guys, like, don't call them.
No.
Don't call and be like, hey, how you doing? Because
Yeah.
like you know how he's doing.
He's doing
Like he's
terribly.
drinking himself into oblivion for a week. You'll see him after that.
Yeah.
And like maybe.
Yeah, it's brutal. I remember my buddy, he had a bird dog for fucking our like entire life. And it retired and like it was his dad's bird dog. And they retired it, and then it was just in the house, and the dad, like, I'm not joking, you couldn't go anywhere. Like, I'd see him at, like, Canadian Tire with the dog.
Yeah.
And he's, like, driving around the truck, the dog's sitting in the front seat next to him. It's his best friend, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the dog fucking died.
Which
And-
they all do.
Yeah, I know. And my buddy called, he goes, yo, my dad's fucking dog died. I was like, shit, how is he? And he's like, he's been drunk for, like, 4 days. He's like, he's just been plastered for like 4 days. And crying. He said his mom would walk in and be like, you doing all right, Gary? Like, what's going on? He'd be like, what do you think about that? What am I going to do?
Because you know he'll like sit down on the couch and then go to put his hand where the dog would be. And it's like, you like look at this. There's like the dent in the couch where the dog is alive.
Fur there. Like, oh god, man.
You're like eating dinner and go to drop a little food and it just hits the floor. Oh!
Yeah, like fuck. Just this old man, like
who's like who didn't
man.
cry when his like son had cancer or something.
Yeah.
Never cried once in his life, but like his
Fucking
dog that wasn't even a bird dog. This was just like a shitty pug he had.
Yeah.
Like, and the last 4 years of its life, it was breathing through a tube and like, and that died. Like, Mr. Squeaky's died. Like, yeah, man, a man and his dog is big, and I'm not a dog guy, but I get it.
It's a fucking bond and a half.
It is a bond. You love that dog more than you love your wife.
Yeah,
Because the dog doesn't fucking piss you off. The dog's always happy to see you.
Oh man,
The dog's never pissed that you came home late. The dog is
it's
just
only
like,
excited when you're
it's
drunk.
all- yeah.
Yeah.
You can rile up a dog and it's fun. You can't rile your wife up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's so true, man.
Yeah. That's
Poor
so
guy.
funny, like dog in the front seat to go to Canadian Tire. Like,
Dude,
I
I
gotta run an errand. He's coming.
I swear to God, the one day I was leaving Canadian Tire and he pulled up with the dog in the front seat and like it was Lab, like it was his like duck dog.
Yeah.
And so he like pulls up and this fucking 15-year-old Lab sitting in the front seat. He like unbuckles his I was like, holy shit.
The dog
Gary.
sat there long enough,
Dude, like
still enough to get a seatbelt on.
oh yeah. He would just sit there. He'd buckle him in and everything.
Turn the airbag on
Oh yeah.
because he might not be heavy enough.
Yeah, like it, all sorts of shit, dude.
Roll
It-
down his window for him a little.
Craziness. Yeah, they would just hang out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's-
you want to know what was cool? He did know how to get beer, but only bottles. But
His teeth.
he had in his garage, he had a rope on the fridge. Like, you ever seen
Oh,
Shooter, the movie Shooter?
No.
Mark Wahlberg? It's the exact same as that. It's like a redneck thing to do. Like a big ass rope on the handle of the fridge.
So you just bite it and
So you
yank
can
it.
pull the fridge door open, and then he'd go in and grab a fucking bottle of beer. And he
Holy
put
fuck.
all his beer on the bottom shelf, and the dog would grab a bottle and bring it over to him, and he'd crack it. He fucking loved that dog. It died, and I was like, dude, your dad might fucking die. He might die of sadness.
Oh, like the first time he had to get up and get his own beer.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yeah. And then yeah, he grabbed that
I
first
hate
beer
laughing
and then he
at it.
stayed drunk for like a week.
Yeah, like there was a second where he just got home and was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Like, I'm
calling
fucked.
in sick for work for the rest of the week and I'm just getting hammered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is some grief. I haven't been like that grief stricken. I don't
know.
think ever.
Yeah, he was brutal.
That is the type of shit you do when your wife dies.
Yeah, when you're like 50.
Yeah,
60, you know?
yeah. If you're old enough, you know it's coming.
Yeah, you're like
You're like
fuck it.
whatever.
Yeah, if you're 50 and your wife dies, you're like, yep, I'm just gonna get drunk for like a week.
Yeah, like I think you might die. Like, what do you do? Start dating
Yeah,
again?
you're like, no, I'll just die.
Because and
Like,
a lot of guys too, like they don't know how to live their life without their wife. We talk
Yeah.
about this all the time.
Yeah, that's like, what the fuck am I gonna
Like
do?
she pays the bills.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't know how to turn the vacuum on.
yeah.
He hasn't cooked a meal in 15 years.
There's shit. I literally am not even aware are chores that get done in the house. I'm
Yeah, I
so
know.
grateful. The older I get, the
I
more
pissed your
grateful.
wife off with that.
With what? With the.
I was talking about how I have a magical counter
yeah.
that I put stuff down on
Yeah.
and it instantly gets wiped away. Or like I turn around, I come back and it's in the garbage.
I got a magical hamper.
You got a magical. Yeah, we're like we say this.
It's
and
not even
like,
a magical hamper. It's a magical closet because we keep the dirty
you
laundry
just-
hamper in the bottom of the closet.
Yeah.
I just fill the closet with shit, and it's just clean and folded and back in the.
I know it's
dresser.
not. No, but we say this. There's like 3 women at the table, like my wife, your wife, and a buddy's wife, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh it's," and they're all drunk. Like, oh yeah, it's magic, isn't that?
Yeah, it is magical. It is though. It's so
It's
crazy.
all right.
I don't
wife's
even
got
know
a
when they
magical-
get it done.
My wife's got a magical garbage can.
Yeah.
Yeah, every night, every morning
It's
when
just
she wakes
suddenly
up
empty.
for work, the dishes are done and the garbage is
Yeah.
out. It's crazy.
Yeah. This is the thing. There is give and take. We've got a magical fridge that somehow always has lunches prepared for her in it.
You prepare her lunches?
Shit, I have leftovers. Ready to go for her 7 days a week. There's always meals
Jesus.
ready to go that she can like whip up a meal in the microwave, like nuke some stuff, and it's ready to go.
We should get married because that sounds fucking
That's
awesome.
fucking sweet. Yeah. Have I ever told you about the time that she was gone for like a week on a trip and Dwayne came over?
Yeah. And he
And-
was just your wife for a week?
And, like, he just came over and he's hanging out and he's like, "You want me to do anything?" I was like, "No." Like, what? Just sit on the couch, man. Watch TV. And I like just made this fucking massive kick-ass plate of nachos and I do like guacamole.
Yeah.
Like salsa and all this shit and all these dips. And I like bring it all out and he's like, "Yo, this is fucking crazy. Do you just do this? Do you just do this for her all the time?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, this is a like everyday thing. Like she gets us like 5 days a week."
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
he-
we're like good at what we do.
Yeah,
Let's-
I'm good at making food, so I make food all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And yeah, he was like, "Damn, can I be your girlfriend?"
Yeah, man, I'll be doing dishes as dinner's cooking.
Yeah.
I'm fucking slick with it.
Yeah.
I'll,
You know?
like, she'll come home to clean house with a candle lit.
Yeah, that's been a thing I learned. I've got
Yeah, light
started
the candle
doing.
when you're done.
Light a candle, and that smells all nice in there, and they love it.
There's nothing. Yeah, I mean that gets me fired up when I come home. to
Yeah,
it.
when you come home, it smells great,
and I
it's
just
clean,
throw my
and you're
fucking
like,
coat on the
"Woo!"
floor, like
Yeah.
kick my boots off,
Yeah,
spit in the sink,
yeah, I spit in the drain, sit in the drain,
smoke
fart.
inside. Anyways, I got dinner going.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Well, thanks for listening to that, everyone.
yeah. Stay reasonable.
Keep doubting. Good night.
Reasonable Doubt Podcast. If you guys like funny, hilarious, goofy, goober, silly boys podcast, that is a good place to find yourself.